Number 1. The spike. Strip a running shoe down to almost nothing, screw metal pins into the forefoot, and you get the most specialized footwear in the sport. Spikes exist for one thing: gripping a track or soft ground at speeds the human body can barely hold. The pins bite where rubber would slip, and a rigid plate under the foot turns every stride into a catapult. There's no cushioning to speak of, because cushioning is weight, and weight is the enemy when you're racing a 1500 in under 4 minutes. This is the oldest shoe on the list. Spiked running shoes date back to the 1860s, and for a century, they were how every record on the track got set. But step off the oval, and they're dead weight. No traction on pavement, no protection for your joints, nothing for daily mileage. A tool so sharp it only cuts in one place. Number 2. The minimalist shoe. The idea is radical in its simplicity. Take everything away. No raised heel, no thick foam, no support structure. What defines it is zero drop. The heel and the toe sit at the exact same height off the ground, forcing your foot to move the way it would barefoot. The whole movement detonated out of a single book, Christopher McDougall's Born to Run, in 2009, which argued that modern cushioned shoes were making us weaker and hurting us more. Millions bought in. Then reality arrived. In 2014, Vibram paid out millions to settle a lawsuit over health claims its barefoot shoes couldn't back up after a wave of runners cracked the small bones in their feet by switching too fast. The truth sits in the middle. Used patiently, over months, this shoe builds real foot strength. Used impatiently, it's a stress fracture with laces. Number 3. The Max Cushion Shoe. If the minimalist shoe is nothing, this is everything. A wall of foam stacked over 40 millimeters high between your foot and the road. The principle is maximalism, and it was born on the trails, where 2 Frenchmen launched Hoka in 2009 to help ultra runners survive brutal mountain descents. The deep foam swallows impact, which makes long, slow miles feel softer on tired legs. But material this thick comes with a price you feel and can't see. The more of it under your foot, the less you sense the ground, and the higher and tippier the platform becomes. Run fast in these, and the mush eats your turnover. There's a real place for the shoe, recovery days, and heavier runners grinding high mileage who need the protection. As the only shoe you own, it dulls everything that makes you a sharper runner. Comfort you can feel in the store. Control you lose on the road. Number 4. The Stability Shoe. The most prescribed shoe in any running store, and the most misunderstood. It's built to control pronation, the natural inward roll of your foot as it lands, using a firmer wedge of foam on the inner edge, or plastic rails that fence the foot in. Walk into most shops, and a 30-second glance at your gait gets you sorted straight into this category. Here's what they leave out while they're ringing it up. The science connecting pronation to injury is shaky at best. Study after study has failed to prove that controlling how your foot rolls keeps you from getting hurt. A genuine, severe overpronator can benefit. But most people walking out with a stability shoe were sold a solution to a problem nobody ever measured them for. It isn't a bad shoe. It's an oversold one. Number 5. The Trail Shoe. The moment the ground stops being flat and predictable, this is the only shoe that makes sense. Its signature is the outsole. Aggressive rubber lugs, sometimes 5 millimeters deep, that dig into mud, gravel, and wet rock like cleats. Underneath sits a rock plate, a thin shield that stops a sharp stone from spearing up into your bone. The upper is reinforced to survive roots and scree that would shred a road shoe in a week. None of this is optional once you're off the pavement. It's the difference between a run and a fall down a mountain. But that's also the limit. Bring those lugs to asphalt, and they wear flat fast while the stiffness beats up your legs. So this shoe doesn't have a fixed place. It has a switch. If your runs leave the road, it's the most important shoe you own. If they never do, it's the most useless. Few shoes are this binary. Number 6. The Tempo Shoe, sometimes called the up-tempo trainer. This is the shoe that lives between your soft daily trainer and your precious race shoe. Lighter than the first, cheaper to destroy than the second. What defines it is responsiveness, a snappier foam, often a nylon plate instead of carbon, tuned to come alive the instant you pick up the pace. It exists for the hard half of training, the tempo runs and interval sessions, where a mushy shoe drags and a carbon racer would be a waste of its short life. Most serious runners didn't know they needed this shoe until they tried one and watched their fast days suddenly feel fast. It won't carry your biggest mileage, and it won't break records on its own, but it's the quiet workhorse of speed, the second shoe in any rotation worth having. Number 7. The Super Shoe. The carbon-plated racer that genuinely rewrote the sport. Its mechanism is a rigid carbon fiber plate buried inside a tall slab of ultralight, energy-returning foam. Together, they work like a spring, snapping your foot forward and stiffening your toe off into something close to free speed. And this isn't marketing. Lab testing in 2018 put a number on it, roughly a 4% improvement in running economy, the kind of edge that strips minutes off a marathon. It worked so well that World Athletics had to step in and cap the foam stack at 40 millimeters to stop the shoe from breaking the record books outright. So why doesn't it top this list? Because it's a specialist with an expiration date. It costs a fortune. The magic foam degrades after about 150 hard miles. And worn for everyday training, it does nothing but drain your wallet. It's the fastest shoe ever built. It's also the one you should wear the least. Number 8. The Daily Trainer. The least exciting shoe in the building, and the one no runner survives without. It has no gimmick. Moderate cushion, moderate weight, durable foam engineered to take a beating for 3, 4, 500 miles before it gives out. And that durability is the whole point, because this is the shoe that absorbs roughly 80% of every runner's miles. The easy days, the long runs, the unglamorous base mileage that quietly builds the engine every other shoe is selling you a shortcut around. Strip a runner down to a single pair, and this is the one that still gets them to a marathon. Every other shoe on this list is a specialist, sharpened for one job and helpless outside it. This is the generalist that does the only job that always matters, getting the miles in, day after day, without breaking down. The most forgettable shoe in the store tops the entire list.